echoing.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, now I am on it.
Is money back?
He's going to rejoin shortly.
Okay. I really apologize for.
Sure.
Okay. What next?
Okay.
I really apologize for what happened. Guys, if you just tune in on YouTube, Princess Roy YouTube or Lively TV, or we are also streaming on Abedin TV. Also, we're on Facebook on Abedin TV and Lively TV. And also, if you go on my page, Princess Roy page is there. And we really apologize for the little technical issue that we had. Um, if you just tune in, we today's topic is, do some men go through abusive relationship? We've already spoken a lot, we've shared a lot, and if you're a man that you're going through the same thing, please, you can share your views, you can share your comments, or any question that you want us to also answer on the show. We are here to do it. I've got Muni, who is sharing his life experience with us, and Mr. Kennedy, who is also worked with people, both women and men who's been abused. So he can also help you if you're going through a similar situation. Please don't hesitate to send your question or your comment or your views, because we are here to help you. The motive of this show is that not just come and sit here to talk, but we want to help people who are going through the situation or the topic that we're talking about. How can we help the person? How can the person come out from what they are going through? And I think when it went off, I heard you gentlemen were discussing a lot. You left me, the woman, out, and you. Anyways,
No,
thank you.
no,
So
nothing
that was
like
great.
that.
I was listening. I was really enjoying your
Okay.
conversation. Yeah. So if you can throw light again on what you gentlemen were saying, so that people that lost us can also come in. Hear what you were saying, please.
Right. So based on the last question that you had asked, now I am echoing, but based on the last question that asked, what we can do,
Mm.
what I was saying to mommy, education is the key. Educating both men and women as to the consequences of your action and the hurt or negative effect that it has on the other person. And so, true education, I think that that is one of the ways to break through because, like I said before, men are supposed to be tough.
Yeah.
While, and so if a woman is verbally or whatever kind of form, whatever what they abuse take, then she'll think that, as a man, you're supposed to be able to take it. Okay. And you shouldn't react like I react. I've seen situations in their cases where
Yeah.
the man was called a certain name because he chose to shed some dirt.
Can I chip in
Uh,
this, please? Sorry for cutting
mhm.
you, but
Sure.
in this case, should we blame the men for keeping silence in this kind of situation? Because I know men, as you said, when even it comes to like medical aspects, right? If you go on, you do your research, right? Hardly do men complain about their health. Or sometimes at certain age, I think the government gives them, both men and women, chances to come in to see their doctors for risk. What do you call it? Checkups, right? But then the men tend to, you see that the majority is the women, right? The men will come in or see the doctors when it gets worse. So my question is it, should we blame our men? Because maybe, as you said, they're not talking about it, they're keeping it silent. So now women, everything will come out and say it, right? If a woman is abused, she would definitely come as you know. So I think the government is seeing that way, that maybe the men are not being abused, right? Maybe they're not going through that kind of situation. So that's why now maybe they consider the women more than the men. So should we blame our men for not speaking out and keeping keeping silent about all this kind of issues or situations?
Well, Money, you want to go ahead? And,
Well, that's a good question. I'm glad you touched base on that. In terms of blame, I'm not personally, I'm not one to blame any gender, male or female. I think this is something that is a greater issue than male or female. I think it's a problem with society. It's the way that we have conformed to the mentality that men have to be strong, where in fact men and women, the only thing physically different between them is reproductive organs. Mentally, emotionally, we are the same. So I think it's more of a issue with society that says that men are not supposed to get hurt, men are not supposed to complain, men are not supposed to cry, men are not supposed to be emotional. Um, I don't see how that is right because at the end of the day, men and women have the same emotions. Men and women go through the same changes.
Okay, Mr. Kennedy, do you want to add something to it, to what I want to say?
Can't hear you.
Okay,
I can't hear you.
can you hear us? You
I think
can't.
your mic is on mute.
Yeah, we can't hear you.
We're having a lot of technical issues today.
I know.
Nope, can't hear
Mm,
you.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I think we back on. Can you hear us?
Unfortunately, I can't hear you.
Yeah, we can hear you. Yeah, I think it's gone on mute now, so we can't hear you.
Oh,
Okay, so we I think we have to get him back on. He's coming back now. Yeah. No, we still can't hear you. Yeah. It keeps on going to mute. Yeah, if you can use them without the Bluetooth. All right. So Muni, I was saying I was going to ask you this question that did you by any chance involve the family? Did you know your partner or your wife? Did you know her family? Did you, because I believe that when you guys got married, right, your family were there, her family were there. So did you involve them of what she was doing? Did she have someone to talk to her, or what happened? Or
well, again, when I met my wife, she was the only member of her family here in Canada. So she did not have any family here, any blood ties. During our time of separation, I effortlessly tried to Are you back with us,
Hmm.
Mrs. Kennedy?
Are you
I've been
here,
kicked out of this room completely.
Mr.
All right.
Kennedy?
I'm hearing you, but somehow you cannot hear me.
Okay.
Yeah, just give me a minute. I'm trying to fix the problem.
Yeah, we can hear you now. Okay.
You're hearing me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay, all right. Give me 1 second. Let me just come back in.
Mm. We really apologize for all the technical issues. These things can happen, is normal. Sometimes it can be out of control. If you just tune in to our Facebook live, which is Lively TV, Aberdeen TV, and maybe on Princess Roy Facebook page, today's topic is, do some men go through abusive relationships? So if you know someone, or if you have been in an abusive relationship, if you're a man that you've been there, please share your comments, send us your comments, and or if you have any question, how maybe if you're going through the same thing, how you will be able to come out, or how to deal with the situation, send your question to us, and we will help you to find a solution, because we've got professionals on this show today who can also help you or give you advice. So Muni, um
Can you hear me now?
yeah, we can hear you. Muni was
Okay.
saying something, so if you can continue. You said your wife was in she didn't have any family in this in Canada.
Yes. Yes, she didn't have any family members or any blood relations with anyone here, but
Okay.
relentlessly, I many times, I don't know the exact how many times, but many times I had uh, phoned them overseas. I had sent messages through emails,
Mm.
through Facebook, um, to her siblings, her parents, and not one of them ever responded to me. I went to the point of even assuming that they did not understand English,
Okay.
and I hired someone to translate everything for me in their mother tongue. I'm not going to say what language it was,
Mm.
um, but even after a very lengthy process of having to go through that and explain everything and have it translated and emailed and sent to them, they still did not reach out to me.
Did they approve of the marriage?
Pardon me?
Did they approve? Did they approve of the marriage?
Yes,
Oh, okay.
yes.
Okay. As we can see here, that there are many different factors that can come into play. You said she's the only one in Canada. We don't know what's going through her mind. No, why she do the 180 on you, or why she behave the way she behave. There are many factors at play, but at the end of the day, like I said, through education and through, you know, there's a thing, RESPECT. We have to realize that in any relationship, there must be respect.
That's it.
And we must realize that, if we're going to be selfish
Mm.
and don't care about the other person and don't care about the negative impact that we're having on our kids, all right, then in the end, that will backfire because I've seen situations where kids have grown up and disowned the father or disowned the mother because of things like these when they were much younger. And so these are some of the pitfalls that are there that one has to be careful of as we seek to be selfish because it's all about being selfish, why we behave certain ways,
That's
why
it.
we react to certain things,
Mm.
okay? But why we exhibit certain behaviors that are unbecoming of us as adults. I remember one minister said that marriage is for the mature only. And mature, he meant that basically you have to be mature enough to be able to own up to your responsibilities, to be able to realize that when someone else comes into your life, it's a different thing. And you share something, Money, about you went into this very quickly. Okay, and I've seen situations before where people went into situations too quickly and they crash and burn.
Mm.
I, for one, know that Chris Rock, the famous comedian there, said that whenever you date someone, you're dating their representative
That's it.
because they're not going to show you their true selves, who they are, until you start to share that person's space. and that person starts to share your space, and then you will truly see who that person is.
Yes.
And I've known of two cases where marriage within 1 week, that marriage lasted for over 50 something years. Married within 2 weeks, that marriage lasted for 40 something years. But those are back in the days,
Yeah.
when people weren't as selfish, when people realized that no matter what happened in a relationship, let's try and work on it.
You know.
But of course, it takes two to tango. And if one party refused to work on it, if one party said, you know what, I'm not going to come to counseling with you because I do not see a problem here,
That's it.
then it just won't work. It just won't work
That's
at
right.
all.
That's right. And I would have to say that was definitely one of the mistakes that I would say the main mistake I did was that we rushed to get married.
Yeah. Mm.
It's crucial that, as you say, to take that time to relish the moment of and the experience of getting to know each other.
Mm.
It's very important, very crucial. And
Yeah.
my advice today, really, for all your viewers, for the young men who are your
Mm.
viewers, is to please take your time.
It's hard.
Do not rush into anything
Mm.
without due diligence, without enough. What's the best word to say? Uh, you really have to give yourself enough time
Yeah.
to get to know the other individual better.
Yeah. But in this kind of situation, right, it can be very dicey. Why? Because depending on what the motive of the other side, either the female or the male, the agenda of coming into the marriage. Some people come into marriage with their own agenda, right? It could be documents, it could be anything. So some people could you could spend a year or 2 years to stay together, and they will still not show you their true colors.
Hmm.
They will still not show you who they are until they get whatever they want before you know who they are. So
That's right.
in this case, whereby you stayed with someone for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and no signs is being shown, and then suddenly it comes out, then what will you do? Is that Mr. Kennedy?
Well, I tell you what, once you realize, like Money said, in 48 hours there was a 180. Once you realize that there's a change, then that is when you need to start to pay very close attention,
Yeah.
okay, to the situation as it continues to escalate. Because once it starts, it's like a snowball effect. Okay, and it just starts to get worse and worse and worse, and to the point where someone become physical or verbal or whatever it is. And we're focusing on marriage, but this happen in any relationship. Sometimes it's you have a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whoever it is, where you may only see them once per week or whatever the situation is, and there is abuse, whether it be physical or verbal. It might be a common law situation where you live with someone and there is abuse. It's not just marriage. So to those who are listening and watching this show, just realize is that if you're in a situation where there is any kind of abuse at all, okay, because think about it this way. Would a guy like to see another guy hit his sister? No, I know that in my family, it's a no-no. There will be retaliation. Here's another thing. Would a woman, okay, like to see her daughter, okay, stamping her little brother face in the ground? No, that will not be. No mother is going to stand by and see that. We must realize that that is the same hurt, and that is the same thing we're doing, okay, when we chose to be selfish, and when we chose to, whether it be physical, verbal, whatever whatever form the abuse take, when we chose to do that, that's what we're doing. We're hurting another. You mentioned the three major religions, and I ascribe to Christianity, and it says that do unto others as you'd have them do unto you.
Of
I'm
course.
sure that in the Muslim faith there's a very close quotation to that. Okay.
Absolutely, very
And
similar.
so and so once we realize that, something, I wouldn't like to see someone doing that to my sister. I wouldn't like to see someone doing that to my brother, much less to me. Then why should we do it to someone else? And that's the question up there. But like I said before, that through education and there has to be respect. And there has to come a point where we said enough is enough. And do not be afraid to just walk away. Because at the end of the day, you're sparing yourself the hurt and the anguish. Okay. And you're also sparing the other person. Okay. The consequences of what might happen. Temperance, they said that temperance will overcome the aftermath of excess. So we have to be temperate. We have to be even keel. We have to be even tempered in these situations. I know that abuse it's a terrible thing, and mental scars, like you said, you're dealing with issues, and it's not just going to go away. If the judge should say, you know something, joint custody or you to the kids, yeah, that's one part that would be solved, but then you still have your own situation that you're dealing with. So like I said before, you're doing the right thing, you're getting help, and like I said, if you need more help, I can forward you some information. And to those who are country you're watching from, there is help. There is help. You just have to seek to find it.
That's it.
Okay, but there is help.
Contacts on either on the screen, or we'll put our contact across. If anyone wants to contact us, we have the professionals that can work with you. Either you want emotional help, if you want psychological help, anything that you want, if it's spiritual help that you need, we have people there to speak to you, to help you in that aspect. So yeah, if you want to contact us, we are there to work with you. The team is ready to work with you and to help you with any contact that you need. And with Mr. Money, we thank Mr. Kennedy that he's worked there already. So after the show, you can, I mean, speak together, and then because we want you to get over this, right, and then get the legal help, all the help that you need, physically, emotionally, everything that you need. We want you to get the help, right? So we'll do as much as we can. We will speak to people that are there. Mr. Kennedy is there. Thank God that he's also in Canada with you. And I believe that Mr. Kennedy will be there to assist you if you want to speak to him. If you need
Most
it,
definitely.
he can direct you to the right places. And we'll keep on talking to you because you need to be talked to. Call us. We are there to talk to you to help you. You need that, trust me, because
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that.
the more you share, the more it helps, right? And I think my last question that I don't want to keep you gentlemen, because I think you spend much of your time here. You have a lot of things to do. In relationship, we talk about love, right? And sometimes people say it depends on the situation, or some people go in because of love and then they tend to change, right? Because of one reason or the other. Moni, do you think that your wife or your ex-wife, she loved you, the love was there, but something changed? Or do you think that she came because of what she wanted, or she had her own agenda? What do you think?
Um, I personally believe that people don't change; their habits change.
Okay.
Um,
Mm,
and I believe that for someone to change 180 degrees in a matter of 48 hours is either something to do with psychosis, and or as you mentioned, someone who has underlying um, devious intentions.
mm, mm,
Yeah, you're correct there. Let me just say this that I once heard somewhere that you should make a decision when you're happy,
mm,
because when you just meet someone and you and that person click, as we call it,
mm.
realizes that a lot of times in many cases, infatuation is mistaken for love. And when
Yes,
infatuation is mistaken for love, in your case is a bit different because there had to be some amount of acting to prove to you or to convince you that okay, I am the right person for you. But once I get my foot in the door, I'm going to show you who I really am. And so in many, many, many cases, it's not a matter of love, but more infatuation. And we know that infatuation, it goes just like that. It goes just like that. It doesn't last at all. whatever the relationship is based on. A lot of people, well, I'll say a lot of people, I think I can take that liberty. They run into a marriage because, you know what, speaking plainly, the intimacy that they share is good. But then that too wears off. Realize that every novelty that you enjoy when you enter any relationship, it wears off. Okay. It is the foundation that you build, should say, that will make that relationship last.
Absolutely.
Because think about it, even if it's a business relationship, you have to treat your business partner a special way for them to do business continuously with you. And one of them is you have to be respectful. Yeah, behind their backs, you might say, that person is the worst, whatever. But in front of them, you must be respectful, and you have to maintain your part of the agreement in order for that relationship to continue, to be fruitful and to be effective in a positive way. So, like Princess Roy said, we can exchange numbers at the end of the show. She will send you my number. She has it. We can exchange numbers. I can, point you in some more direction because you're going down the right path already. And for those who are out there, if there are any questions that they may have that they weren't able to get in, you can send it to Princess Roy. She will forward it. And like she said, we'll do our best to answer. And if we don't have the answer, then we will point you in the right direction.
I
That
think
sounds great. I appreciate that very much.
You're
Shade
welcome.
Shade Daly, she said, I think we need safe spaces for men to speak without judgment would be ideal. So,
Yes,
men has to also have that kind of space whereby they are not being judged. Right. So I
that's
think
correct.
yeah,
That's correct. But like Money said before, it's our society look on men, eh?
yeah,
Society look on men that this is not supposed to happen. That you're supposed to be this way. You're supposed to be, which is a stereotype,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
and it's our society look on men. But Shade, she's correct. There needs to be safe spaces.
Yeah.
But like I said before, those safe spaces will be created when men start to come forward more.
I see.
Because like we said before, 80% of all rape, females are raped. It's not reported.
Yeah.
And men
Yeah.
with the abuse, it's a fraction of that 80%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That will come forward like yourself, Money, who are
Yeah.
brave enough to say, I have been and I am going through the aftermath right now.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is so true. There needs to be safe spaces created, and that comes down to the government will have to play a part in that,
I
and
see.
individuals who think that it is a just cause to take up have to play a part in that,
Yeah.
and the private sector.
Yeah. And someone also said, do we think that women are taking advantage of that? Because
Well,
that they are all they are favored more when it comes to the government aspects, right? Is it because of that women are taking advantage to abuse some men?
Money, you want to go ahead and I'll add to
Well,
that?
I don't think again we can generalize that. I
Mm,
really think that it comes down to the individual.
yeah.
It really needs to be taken by a case by case basis. So you can't generalize and say all women take advantage of the system or all
Yeah.
men are abusive. But you can definitely say that um, women have that option to take advantage of the system because it is clearly in their favor.
I can say it better. That is so true. We can't generalize. We can't pass that. We can't make that wide stroke to say that, women are taking advantage because they know the situation.
Yeah.
You rightfully said, Money, it's a case by case by case,
Because
case
I
by
do
case. And
feel,
like I said before, one moment, like that, education is key because some people, some men or some women, they may not realize that their action is
yeah.
actually hurting the other person.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
They may not realize, and that is why in a relationship there has to be communication
Yeah.
and not reaction in terms of, you know, I react this way because you reacted to me that way.
Mm,
Okay, but reacting in a way that will say, okay, let us sit down and talk about this. this is what you're doing, and it is hurting me this way. And men shouldn't be afraid to tell women that you're doing this and it's hurting me. I don't like it. Women should not be afraid to say to the man, look, you're doing this and it needs to end right now.
Yeah. I think we will just answer this last question because somebody sent it to my WhatsApp. The person is saying that um she knows that to her point she will argue that some women intentionally do that because they know that if they abuse the man or if they do anything to the man and maybe the government or the police comes in, they will rather favor the woman more than the men. And she is seen, she says for her she's seen some cases happened whereby some women will intentionally abuse the man, or maybe, as I said, some women will come into the relationship because of their own agenda, right? It could be anything. It could be document, as I mentioned before. It could be anything, or money. Some women will go after men because of money, because this guy is rich. So when they come and after they have whatever they want, and then because they know that the government will favor the women more when it comes to like equal rights and financially as well, they'll be entitled to the man's possession and his money. They try to play that kind of put up that kind of behavior. So what do you think? What do you say about? Because that's what her argument that she's making now. Do you agree with
Yeah,
her? Or,
well, I agree with her to an extent that, yes, some women, they know the system and they
yeah,
play it, they use it.
that's,
Okay. Experience, I know of a case where female beats up the male. Okay. Burst his mouth, blood was streaming. She turned around and called the police on him. First time the police came, they
mhm,
quashed, tell them seek counsel, whatever the
mm,
case.
yeah.
Second time she did it,
Mm,
okay. When the police came, the guy's shirt was ripped,
wow.
busted face. But these police, they were very smart. They knew what happened.
Mm,
They grabbed her and put the handcuffs on her and put her in the squad car. So women does take advantage of it in that sense because they know the system and they know how to play the system.
yeah.
However, the judges, the government, police officers, they're not naive and they're not stupid. They know what's happening
Yeah.
and they know when the system is being played or when someone seeks to take advantage of the other person. And in that case, they will come down on you hard.
Okay, so I think we've taken much of your time. Um, do any advice that Muni you want to give to? I know you said you've already given advice concerning choosing your partner and getting to know them. Is there any more that you want to tell the men out there who are now going to relationship or thinking of marrying? That maybe they've seen a woman just in a few weeks and they want to jump into marriage with them. What's your advice to them, please?
Again, it's the same advice. Please take your time. Love yourself first before you can love anyone else.
Mm, yeah.
Take your time, relish the moment, relish the experience of getting to know the individual who's supposed to be your partner. And I'm going to re-emphasize this: take your time.
Yep.
Okay.
I'd just
Um,
like to end with this that
okay.
be good for yourself
Mm,
before you can be good for anyone else.
that's it. And what's your advice to those that are going through the same kind of situation? What's your advice to them? Is that
Well, the advice I would give, sorry, was that question to me or money?
you, please, Mr. Kennedy?
Okay. Well, the advice that I would give to those who are going through the same kind of situation is seek help. You can speak to your family physicians. They're very good, resource people that knows help that might be available within the community itself.
Yes.
Speak to speak to the counselor, the guidance counselor, some guidance counselor in schools, your kids' schools, because if children are involved and it start to affect them, it's
Yes.
not just going to affect them when they're at home, but when they're at school. Okay, so they're also a good resource. people who can point in the right direction. But seek help no matter what you do. Even the police station in your area, they know of help that is available, and they'll tell you seek help. If you say, "Hey, I don't know," they'll point in the right direction. Okay, but seek help, seek help, seek help. Because if at the end of the day you stay, because remember this, the 99 time you're being physically abused, or whatever form of abuse take, the female to the male, and the one time the male respond, it can be the end of him as a free man, so to speak. And
Absolutely.
so therefore, seek help and do not be afraid to walk away from it all.
And I also advise the men that you need to speak out. You know, I do respect Mr. Money so much for taking the opportunity to come and share his story. And there are men out there who is going through the same thing. So the more they share their stories, the more it becomes people will become aware of what is going on, and they'll know that yes, men are also going through that, and the voices will be heard. So don't keep yourself. Don't stay in and think, okay, I'm a man, I can take it. You will be broken because as a human being, everyone gets broken at a point of time. So if you need it, go for the help. If you are dying in, shout, scream. You need to let people hear you that even though you are a man, you still go through this kind of abuses. And we have to speak to the point whereby to get more to the government so that we can be equally be considered than more than the women, being more favorable. So men, please speak up. Don't hide. Don't let pride. I'm sorry to say this, but pride stop you from crying out. Sometimes you sharing your story can really help you, and it will help you to get the help that you need. So that's what I'll also say. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for taking your time for being with us today in the Pinky Room. I'm just going to say bye to you, and hopefully we will come back and we'll have a lot to talk about, because abuse is a lot to talk about abuse, and I definitely will have you back on the show to share more of your stories and your advice. Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome. Thank you very much for having me.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for having me as well. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much. So we'll talk later after the program. Have a wonderful day. Enjoy your day, the rest of the day. I don't know what time is it there in Canada. Um, is it about 5 or 6?
A quarter to 6.
About 5:45, yeah.
All
Right.
right. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful evening. Enjoy the
Thank
rest
you.
You too. Okay. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so thank you so much for joining us. This is the Pinky Room with Princess Roy. Um, we always once a month we do our show. This is the November episode that we did. Do some men go through abusive relationships? So thank you for taking your time to watch us. Um, please do follow us on Facebook, Lively TV on Facebook, and also on YouTube. Aberdeen TV2 is streaming us live. So also follow Princess Roy on Facebook and on YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you'll be first to join us every time that we have the show. I just want to thank my producers for taking their time and making this day and the show successful. Also to my sponsors, I have A2 Humanity Foundation Worldwide, Africa Connect UK, J Keys Fresh Yogurt Ghana, Right Shito, Eddie Love Hair Beauty. Thank you, my wonderful sponsors. If you want to sponsor us, please, you can contact us on 02459 459 661, or you can email us at thepinkyroom@hotmail.com. Thepinkyroom@hotmail.com. My hairstyle and my makeup was by Dazzling Beauty. If you want Dazzling Beauty to make you beautiful as I look today, her number is 07445 857 669. If you are a man or a woman, you want to celebrate a special lady in your life on the Pinky Room show, please email us at thepinkyroom@hotmail.com. You can also WhatsApp us on 07459 459 661. And don't forget to subscribe to Princess Roy YouTube channel, Lively TV, and Abedin TV. My media partners, Lively TV and Abedin TV, thank you so much for taking your time to stream this show live. Thank you for watching. God bless you. Have a wonderful day. See ya.